Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for your freaking motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. Y'all, on today's episode, so let me tell y'all what I did last night. So I went to this bar. I'm making up a story, so y'all don't think this is actually happening. Last night I did hook up with somebody else. We're not going into that. I have a regular. Okay, whatever. So last night I went to this bar. I met somebody. We had some conversations, and I didn't get their name. I think we're just gonna call them Stan because that one movie, John Tucker Must Die. Sisters call all her moms one night stands Stan. So so I met Stan, and yeah. So today we're talking about one night stands, and in addition to that, we're talking about taking those nasty ass pictures, sending those fucking nudies and shit. And with me, I have Manny. How are you doing?
I am well. I am so grateful to be here. So good.
Well, it's an honor to have you with us. So this is your second episode. And with it being your second episode and shit, like I don't know where people are, what they're doing in their lives, and I definitely don't know if they went back and listened to the old episodes because if they haven't, why the fuck haven't you not? Like, what are you doing? Like, how do you find this podcast and love the content and not listen to the older episodes? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get your lives together. Yes, I'm gaslighting, but I'm also promoting the show. Two things are true at the same time, okay? Anyways, Manny, who the absolute fuck are you?
Hmm. Hello. I am Manny. My pronouns are he and they, and I am your resident trans deity for today. I am a trans non-binary person. I am, I'm someone who is curious about life, constantly exploring, and I refer to myself as a decolonization guide. Um, yeah, that's me right
And we love it. We love it, especially this decolonization because look, fuck fuck the colonizers. Like every single one of these motherfuckers. I don't care what skin you are wearing. If you are a colonizer, bitch, we're bringing back the grass. We're bringing back the grass. If I remember correctly, the last meeting ended at 2:05, and that's when the other person came. You know what? The colonizers need time, and some of them may be on CP time. And if they're on CP time, I show up to their place. So figure the fuck out what you want to do here, but we'll be meeting at 3 o'clock. Colonizers on the grass, be ready for the ass whooping, and I'm bringing the motherfuckers with me. The choppers might be there too because I don't know what y'all gonna bring, and we know colonizers don't like to play fair.
now. Okay.
So
Jaffa style.
this is I'll be ready. You got to be ready for these motherfuckers. So yes, decolonize. Isn't I know there's a book that's recently came out about. Now I'm thinking of decluttering the mind. Decolonize the mind, people. In the process of decluttering your spaces, decolonize your spaces too. Because fuck the colonizers. This is Wakanda. Anyways, as I mentioned, we are talking about one night stands and sending news today. And one of the things within our conversation that came up is setting clear boundaries for a one nighter. What does that look like for yourself?
Okay, so for me, um, mm, it's a lot about clarity and consent and like first knowing within myself, like what is it that I want from this experience? And because for me, like one of my long-term goals is a consistent um I guess you could say one night stand.
Mm,
Um okay, like I'm talking we 20 years in the game. We're very clear about what it is that we do. Amen. We meet up, we fuck all over the world. Okay? That is what we do.
the assignment is understood.
So understood. Okay. And I want people to stop saying that it's not like it doesn't count or like no, if I've been fucking you for 20 years, it definitely fucking counts. Okay. Regardless of if, I don't have to be married to you. I don't have to be, oh, we're in a relationship or like, and then that's the other thing. We got to decolonize how we view relationships because
Mm,
this is definitely a way of relating to each other. This is definitely, we know each other very well, especially we've been fucking that long. Yeah, we know each other very fucking well. And so I would say it is a type of relationship, but it isn't a romantic relationship in the traditional sense that we view relationships. So anyhow, so that's one of my long-term goals. And so in order to have something like that, I believe, well, for me, like it's gonna start a consistent, clear, conscious communication. And I think it's easier when you don't have excuse me, the typical relationship things in the way, quote unquote, in the way. So it's kind of like when you are, let's say like if you're dating someone, you're getting to know them. I forget what this article is called, but it said something about having a bias for the person that you're dating.
mm,
And but that bias is what causes us to really love them. Like we can really take up for, oh, they just do this because X, Y, and Z or da 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 da. We start to take up for them in certain ways, and that builds the love. Sometimes it builds the BS, depending on the situation of like, oh, you're just taking on their shit. But in other ways, it can build like a true love. Part of it is building um, love with someone. And so there's that experience where we're getting into each other's trauma. We're getting into those childhood wounds. We're getting into the ancestral wounds. Like we go in deep because we're in a romantic relationship, as opposed to, if we are very clear, this is sex, and we're going in a different direction. We're still building our connection. We're still building our relational awareness, but we don't we don't have the trauma. The trauma is somewhere else because your trauma is your business. And
mm.
so when you come over here, it's playtime. Let's have fun. Okay. It's playtime. Let's have fun. And then, and then we go about our business. So being super, super clear. Shan Boodram is somebody who I love, have followed for.
Mm,
And some of the boundaries that she shares is like having a specific ringtone for this person so that you don't get all anxious every time your phone rings and be like, oh my God, is it them? Is it them? You'll know that it's them because they have a specific ringtone. And then another thing, for her, I think she said she didn't do the after sex cuddles because it created some extra emotion that she didn't want to experience. So, which starts to cloud the judgment and it makes it difficult to say hard things to people when you connect to them in that certain way. Something about how the oxytocin, aka the cuddle hormone, will start to kind of come in and start fucking with your brain signals. And now you think
mm,
you love this person, and you probably don't. So for her, that was one of the boundaries of like, we will not be doing the cuddling afterwards. and just being clear. And I also want to make the distinction that being clear is not the same thing as being brutal. Because you are direct in your communication, it doesn't mean that you can't be compassionate in your communication. So, and also being prepared for them to be like, oh, I don't agree to that. That's not something I actually want to do. Or, being prepared, if you want to, maybe negotiate what are some of the things that y'all wanting to do with each other. But yes, definitely, I want to see more pre-sex conversations. I'm thinking that enough people are not doing that. Like, it's just more like, all right, we're here, boom, boom, boom. Like, no, let's actually have that conversation beforehand. We're talking about likes, dislikes, what you want to experience tonight, right? Because it might be different than what you typically experience. I know for me, when I meet somebody for the first time, or if we meet at a play party, I'm feeling a little more risky. And so there's more things that I want to do. But if we met at the farmer's market, I probably, it might be different. It might be way different. So, but anyhow, like, just being so clear about, I want to do this, or I might want to try that, or, just talking about what's off limits, what is on the table, what are your curiosities, and then being clear about what do you want after sex? Like, as we're just talking about the cuddles, do you want to cuddle? Do you not want to cuddle? Are you somebody who likes to share water or food or whatever the hell after? I personally hate sharing, so that's why I said that. Like, I understand we just swap fluids, but we're not gonna drink from the same water bottle. Like, it's just, I can't
It makes
do it.
sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The way my OCD works. No, like I'm with all of this. Like with me, when I approach a one night stand, be it somebody I'm looking for something long term, or if it's just going to be that one time incident, I like to have those conversations beforehand. I will say the one thing that does piss me off is when I give you the opportunity to be honest and you choose to lie because you think that this is going to make it easier for you to have sex with me. We have a problem. Like, I don't mind you hitting me up or wanting to engage in sex just for the hit and quit situation, because I know this is what's going on. But if I ask you that question and you say, oh yeah, I don't mind, seeing how things work out and possibly make this more into a regular exchange. And if it doesn't go too well, we can have that conversation like, oh, well, we hooked up or whatever. It wasn't what I wanted to be. So we did it. Cool. Great. My feelings are not going to be hurt. It's just we talked about it. But don't present yourself as somebody who's open to possibly being a regular and you just want to do the one-nighter thing. Like, why? And on top of that, I'm all for having those conversations of, like you said, the presets combos. Like, what are you interested in doing? What do you find fun? What do you enjoy?
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
I'm all for having those conversations of, like you said, the presets combos. Like, what are you interested in doing? What do you find fun? What do you enjoy? If you, like, I do categorize people in the sense of fuck buddy, friends with benefits, and all of that. Like, if you want to be a regular and it's a fuck buddy thing, I'm only contacting you for sex, and it's a specific kind of sex that I'm looking for, and that's what I'm hoping you to deliver every single time we meet up. And that's cool, that's great, that's dandy, that's what I want. And we're mutually understanding that this is how that relationship's going to work. And if you don't want that and you decide to want to shift things, that brings up another conversation. And as for friends with benefits, that friend part is extremely important to me. So if we're going to be friends with benefits, are we going to be able to go out, have fun, go to a park, go to the movies, go to like dinners, things like that? And I know some people may be thinking, but that's just having a boyfriend or girlfriend, that's dating somebody. No, this is stuff I do with my friends. If that's not what you're doing with your friends, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, just, yeah.
Right. I just don't know what to tell you. Like, for me, that's how, like, my friends and I, we actually have some real ass conversations about life. It's not that we're trying to therapize or unload our stuff on each other, because one, I'm so very lucky that the majority of my friend group all have therapists. So we are not over here dumping or trauma dumping or putting all our ills on one person so that they can carry the weight for the friend group. We're not doing that. We're dealing with our own shit. So to me, if we're talking about some of the struggles that you're going through and whatnot, we're going to have those friend conversations about it. We're going to keep the surface level. We're not digging deep. So that's a part of being a friend of mine. Also, we're just having sex on top of that. And what does that sex look like? And even on another layer of that, because you brought the oxytocins, those little motherfuckers mess up a lot of things. And I don't mind if one person is feeling as though they want a little bit more from me and I'm not willing to provide that for them, that we either no longer speak to each other and we've had that conversation. Cool, we understand that's not going to happen. I hate to lose you as a friend, but I can breathe the relationship and be stronger on the other side. It's perfectly fine. But I'm also comfortable with giving everything a pause, removing the sex out of things so we can refigure out what this relationship dynamic is going to be. And, give that space so those little cuddle hormones will calm their little asses down and not cloud shit and cloud people's judgments, because we don't want that, because you are not the person that I see myself dating. I'm sorry that I have to be honest with you, but I'm going to be honest with you because, it's a sorry not sorry situation, because I want everybody to know what's up. And then the last thing you mentioned, being brutal. I said it once and I'll say it again. Being brutally honest is a choice. You can be honest with the person without being brutal. Like you said, be compassionate with it. Just have a genuine conversation. Let people know how you're feeling. You accept how they're feeling and just go from there. You don't have to make them feel less than in order to get your honesty out there. You don't have to sugarcoat. You can just tell them exactly how things are without purposely trying to hurt their feelings. Being brutal is a choice in how you provide that honesty. And that's another thing that will get you invited to the grass.
Come on.
Because listen, because you made the decision to be an asshole. You made that choice. And around these parts, certain things happen to assholes. If you don't know, assholes get fucked, okay? These are gay streets.
Yeah.
So, what you trying to do?
Yes.
You came over here with some asshole energies. Are you not trying to get fucked? Or like
What's up with it? What's up with it?
I have a feeling somebody who hears that is going to be like, okay, bitch, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but these are gay streets and assholes get fucked. What's up? You being an asshole. What you going to do? What you going to do? And I feel like whoever they say that to you gonna be like, you know what? You right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Also, thank you
Oh God.
for dynamic. I be forgetting about that. We're so good. We have a dynamic. We have a certain dynamic. Like, yes.
Hmm.
I haven't heard it in a while. Also, I just haven't been hanging out in my kink spaces and my polyam spaces as much. But oh yeah, thank you for bringing that back. I love
Oh,
that word.
of course, and it needs to be used a lot more, so a lot of people will understand that. Like, it's when people just come out of nowhere, like, "Oh, we weren't in a relationship," but you were. Like you said, we're always in relation to other people. It doesn't matter if it's sexual, if it's romantic. Like, I don't mind, speaking on like clarifying the dynamics of the relationship. It's sexual, it's sexual. It's romantic, it's romantic. I'm very particular about the words that I say. Like, whenever somebody asks me if I'm looking for a relationship, I am not looking for a romantic relationship with anybody. I am not looking for a sexual relationship with anybody. Like, it's a type of relationship, is varied in how we express it, and that's it. And even the defining how those relationships work, well, most definitely, if it is somebody that's a regular too, we're going to have a conversation. Like, what's your availability looking like? What I'll let you know what my availability looking like. What are some of the things that you prefer to have going on in the whenever we're engaging in sex? If that's music, if that's candles, if it's all these other things, if it's something that I personally don't want and that will hinder my experience, we'll have to have that conversation so we can come to a mutual agreement of how we can have a enjoyable space for sex where everybody feels comfortable and nobody's triggered. Nobody's like, oh, what's that random smell? No, we don't need that. Like, what sense do you find sexy? What sense do you enjoy? What music you enjoy? Do you like lyrics, or do you like a cappella, or do you like instrumental only? Like, what's going on? And speaking of instrumentals, if anybody wants a sex playlist, go to those November episodes and look in the show notes, and there's the playlist that you can listen to, and it's all instrumentals and it's all geared towards sexual experiences. So you're
That's
welcome,
beautiful.
people.
Oh yeah. Yes, and there's a word we keep coming back to, mutual.
Mm.
Mutual. That is like the key right there. Like, yes. And the fact that you can have casual sex and still care about the people that you fucking with.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. So it's not like, oh, I need to treat you like trash, or like there was a show, I forget what it's called, but there was this girl, she was, hooking up with this guy, and when she would come over, he had one pillow on his bed, and he ain't never cleaned up his room, and it was just all this stuff, and the pillow was for him. I was like, it ain't no fucking way.
Ain't none. Like, even for myself, I'd rather put myself on, make myself uncomfortable so my guests will have all the luxuries of things. Like, if I invite you over to my space and you happen to be a cover hog, okay, I'll be chilly because it's only going to be one night. I could have my cover to myself for the rest of the fucking week. Now, if you moving over, bitch, like, we need to have a conversation. Like, so every time you go to sleep, I just need to let you know that the length of cover that I have for myself tends to shrink.
Yes.
So it all accumulates on your side of bed. So how can we work together to make sure we both mutually share this blanket together? Or are you going to be bringing a pillow as well as a blanket since you're going to be here every night?
Right. Right. That part. That part. Yeah, that's something with the covers. I've learned we just gotta have our own cover. We just gotta have our own cover because it's real cute or whatever, but no. Mm-mm. And
Mhm.
for me, I know. I mean, I toss and turn a lot, so I'm gonna accidentally move the cover over my way without meaning to. So sometimes when I notice that, I'm like, oh, let me move a little more gentler so that I don't pull the covers with me. But sometimes when I'm asleep, I can't tell. I'm just I'm just talking and shit. I don't
The body's going to body, okay?
know. And oh my gosh, I don't like being touched when I'm asleep. It really fucks with me. So when people are like, they want to cuddle, I'm like, look, you better get all your cuddling in before we go to sleep. Because the moment I actually turn over and say, okay, lights out, I'm going to sleep, I don't need you touching me. It's going to fuck with me. Like, I'll be like, okay, we touching or we sleeping? Because it ain't gonna be both. Like, I can't.
Flag on the play. I get that. I get that. I have to really, really be in a cuddle mood if you're going to think you're going to have your hands on me while I'm sleeping because I'm already, I spent enough days in my bed by myself to understand that I enjoy having my bed by myself. You are an addition. Even if I'm married and we got a whole new bed, we are each other's addition in this bed. That cuddling shit is not gonna be every night. I'm just letting you know that I will purposely get an air mattress. You can have the bed your motherfucking self. I will sleep on the couch. I will sleep on it. People be like, so I heard Vernon slept on the couch last night. Is everything okay? No, Vernon slept on the couch because this motherfucker just wants to sleep on the couch because he's tired of me cuddling him. And that's the facts.
Yes. Oh, I always said if I lived with somebody, we'd have to have another bedroom because I need my own space. I need so much space. Sometimes I feel like if I was given a whole planet, it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough space.
Because now I have to deal with the animals. I don't know what the fuck they doing because you can't tell animals how to animal. They're just gonna be like, "Boo, I'm here." Like, okay, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever? We all talked to a spider. We all have talked to a spider. Like, what you doing in my house? Who invited you? If you have a roach, bitch, this house is clean. Who invited you? Where did you find the dirt? What's going on here? Like, we're talking to animals, and do they care what we say? And they do not.
But speaking of talking to animals, oh my gosh, I remember. I always feel like that's so interesting. I was about to say dog, and then I heard barking outside. I feel like dogs are so in tune, as well as cats, as when it comes to like spirits that enter a space, and spirits as in human beings and spirits or whatever, energies. So I remember I was somewhere and somebody had came in the room, and I just was like frozen, and I was like, "Yo, something with their spirit ain't right."
Mm.
Like I, I can't tell you what it is, but I was just like, I'm not fucking with that energy at all. And they was trying to talk to me. I was turning all the way around. I was like, no, no, don't look me in my eyes. Don't try to handshake, hug, nothing. Stay your ass over there. And the dog, it was like simultaneously, as soon as I froze, the dog, he starts cutting up. I mean, literally 3 people walked in before this person did, and we was chilling. But when that last person came in, me and the dog was freaking the hell out. Okay. And I was like, oh, you feel it too. Okay. I know you feel it because shit,
Look, I there's something about these animals. Like when I tell you, whenever somebody's a pet owner, I literally look at their pet to understand who their owner is because it tells you a lot. Because animals and their owners, it's definitely a spiritual bond. Like if you have a problem with somebody and that person happens to come into your home, that dog is going to act the fuck up. They're just going to act up, and it's just ridiculous. And I'm just like I walked into some spaces before, and a dog barks at me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I did. I don't know what Idra brought up in here. I don't know if your owner even likes me. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I can remove myself. It's cool. It's great. It's Gucci. Okay. It's nothing dealing with me. It's a y'all thing, and, and I'm going to move. Like if I even go to my brother's house and his dog actually starts attacking me, I will understand my brother has issues with me. We need to talk about this. Like, what's going on, brother? What's up? What's up? Because he upset.
Well, for me, anytime I've cried and there's been a dog present, they always hop on my lap and try to lick my face and try to be comforting. Like it's so sweet. And also dogs are sluts. Okay. They want everybody touching on them. They don't care. They're like touch, touch, touch. The cats are like, bitch, I have boundaries. You like that? Like I don't know you like that. Hold on.
Look, bitch, I rule this area. Like, no
Period.
peasants.
No.
And you're giving peasant energy, okay?
But yeah, I've had really the best experiences with cats as well. Like there is this one that I had met back in March, and I just immediately, like, we just were drawn to each other so quick. I was like, oh my God, hi, sweet baby. And like, it's so cute. I don't do baby talk with actual children, but with pets, it just happened, you
Fuck those
know?
kids.
And like this cat just like jumped into my arms. Like it was the cutest thing ever. And so we had our little moment, and then, cat went on with like, all right, I'm going about my day now. That was cute.
Mm.
Now I'm gone. And that night when I fell asleep on my stomach that night, and I was moving around. I said, hold on. Now I feel a little something. I don't know what the hell it is. And I turned over very quick, kind of not so quickly, but I turned around. I said, wait a minute, not this cat sleeping in between my legs. What the hell? I didn't know we got that close that quick. Look at it.
I'm done. Cat said, hey friend, I'm back.
All of that. But yeah, animals be knowing.
They be knowing. Oh God. Okay. Tangent. Now we're going back into the episode. So one of the things we talked about was attending sex parties. Now, I know I have not gone, okay, let me not lie. I've been to a sex party, but I don't qualify as a sex party because it's more of like a fuck party. And for me, if it's a sex party, it's not one of those blackout events. It's one of those people events that you get to know who the fuck is in the room. There's going to be some kind of engagement to make sure everyone's comfortable. Have some kind of conversation because the goal is for people to fuck. The goal is for people to have play. The goal is for people to enjoy their experience, not just go there and just be like, oh, whoever's there, you have sex with them, and then if you like it, you stay. If you don't, you can go, and there's no build up. No, I need, like, what time are we showing up? What are we going to have some festivities? Or is there going to be candy here? Are there going to be snacks? Like, what are we doing? What should I expect when I get to this party? Like, it's a festival, okay? Not just show up, fucking leave. And the thing I went to was a fuck party. So show up, fucking leave. Not fun at all. It was okay. But so I have not been to the sex party that I described. How about yourself?
Well, I think they're similar. I think those experiences are similar. But I will say this first sex party I went to, it was also a birthday party, and it was also a slumber party.
Ooh.
So it was multiple elements going on. And there was really good Jamaican food. It was amazing. Just like so good. And there wasn't really a lot of conversation. It was, very small setting, which I prefer the smaller sex parties anyhow. So I was like, this is great. I didn't want my first sex party to be like, it's like 300 people in this motherfucker. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, but yeah, so we are in between two hotel rooms. It's cute. It's a vibe. At first it's just me and the birthday girl, like we chilling. And then the guys come, and the whole day I'm like, look, I don't like men like that. So when the men come over, I'm gonna go mind my business in the other room. Okay. So I put my clothes back on. As soon as I heard the knock at the door, I put my clothes on, and I was getting ready to go. And then I said, hold on, let me see what they look like.
Fair.
So the first guy came in, he's kind of cute. I don't really fuck with the men like that, but he's kind of cute. And he came in with a bottle of Dese, and I had that one shot, and it was just over. I was like, oh fuck it.
We're here.
So he ended up being really cool. He was, very much that guy friend energy. Great kisser. It was fantastic. And the other guy, very similar guy friend energy. I remember birthday girl was shook. She was like, I thought you didn't like men. I was like, I don't usually. And so it's so funny because she was like, "Were you like lying to me? All that build up?" I'm like, "No, I wasn't lying to you. Like, it just is so rare that I like men. So when it happens, I'm shocked myself. I'm like, well, okay. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna fight it though. So it's there, you know.
Again, we are here.
But yeah, if I were to put my sexuality like in percentages, I would say like I'm 1,000,000% attracted to femme folk, specifically cis and trans women, like at the top. When it comes to non-binary people, I'm gonna say probably like 70%. When it comes to cis men, I'm gonna say about 0.2%.
Screaming. Fair. Not 0.2%, Lord. Love it.
And so I don't, when it comes to men, I guess my type, if I had to say, number one, they have to be a chocolate brother. Okay. I usually am not, like skin tone specific, but for the men, I need them to be chocolate brothers. And so from there, I mean, it don't matter if you got abs or you don't got abs or you got titties like me. Either way, we cool with it. The energy though, it's very much the energy. So that's where my like pansexual roots come in because it's very much about the energy of the person. So
The episode title is definitely going to be Pansexual Roots. That is engaging my pansexual roots.
yeah.
To the roots, okay?
Okay. Because like really sexuality should be talked about so differently. We need more terms. They're just adding up terms. And especially if you're trans or non-binary, that they didn't expect us to exist anyway. So they were like, actually, we're not gonna give y'all no terms. So that's really sucked a lot. But you come up with your own stuff. Like I said, I'm a boy dyke. Which I love so much. Something about that word dyke, it's just like, ooh, it got a little edge to it, a little bounce. I know it was a slur back in the day, but I really like it. I don't like the F word though. I don't ain't nobody gonna convince me to like that one. But yeah, anywho, I forgot the topic. So
No, it's okay. We were talking about sex parties, but what you were talking about was way more interesting because that was going to lead me into having the conversation about like how I feel about a lot of the labels, even though we have a labels episode that we'll be doing like way, way later on. But like for me, I don't even like the way that we look at heterosexual, bisexual, and all these other things because to me, it doesn't answer the question. Because for me, if I'm going to like, I call myself bisexual because I like dick and pussy. Okay, I like or anything in between that. That's what I like. It's not about the gender that is assigned to. I don't care about that thing. I don't care. Whenever I use the word sexual is mostly related to the sexual organ and not who the character representation is. Like that's not why I consider myself bi. Like that makes sense to me. And then after that, it's all about sexual expression. How do you like to express your sexuality? I have demisexual tendencies, sapiosexual tendencies. I have all the damn
all
tendencies because I like a lot of different things. Okay. Like
yes. Yeah.
the terminology that we use in the trying to keep everybody into a damn box and just like, oh, you have to be this one. No, like you, all those different terms to me is just a different way that you like to engage in sex with other people. I like one of the things I really dislike about like saying a person is demisexual rather than I have a demisexual expression is that it isolates that as a sexual orientation rather than you understand the fact that, oh, I'm just a person who I need to have an emotional connection with somebody to find them attractive. And I prefer somebody with the opposite genitalia, or I prefer somebody with the same genitalia, or It doesn't matter. But I need that so I can feel a little bit more sexually connected to you because I like intelligence. I like
Oh,
emotional expression. I like conversation. I like these different things. So it's not about, oh, it's an orientation. It's just something that I need to get my fucking rocks where I needed them to be so they can get shut the fuck up.
come on. All of that. Yes. I
Like,
feel
and that's a part of decolonizing the mind, still a little bit thing from you.
how because it's white people terms. They made these terms anyway. Okay, they made this language. I mean, not by themselves. It's also German. It's anyway. We ain't gonna talk about the English roots, but anyway, because they couldn't even make their own fucking language. That's the other thing. Like y'all had to steal every goddamn thing.
Look, all the popular saying words came from what? The black people.
I've been learning a little bit of Spanish, and what I love about Spanish is that it's not complicated for no reason. Like once you learn the vowels, you got it. It's not gonna be no silent letters or no trick, pronunciations.
Mm,
Usually, every time you see the vowel, it's gonna be pronounced the same way. And
that
I'm like,
part.
thank you for not making it complicated.
Child, I let me just put this. White people hit me with that okey doke when they came out with that Latinx thing. Cause I was like, oh, okay. Okay, it makes sense. There's no general neutral language within Spanish speaking countries. And then I started to do my little research and then I started to look at more Spanish creators and all these other things. And they're just like, why do you have this X when we literally have a gender neutral term? We also have a gender neutral state of being when it comes to how we use all these things. That's why you have A, O, and E with the E. So if it has an E at the end, that's gender neutral. It's
Mm,
always been there. It's just motherfuckers didn't want to do the actual research to actually see that you can just say Latine.
my God.
And then if you look into different cultures within, and I learned this from a TV show actually, but in many Hispanic countries, they actually recognize a third or multiple genders. So there's already a term for those who are on the trans spectrum. So it's like, y'all just going to lie to us in our face?
Come on. Yeah, I've heard some very mixed feelings about the term Latinx. I've heard some people say like it just I've heard some people prefer the term indigenous because of colonization and how it impacts folks all around the world. So it's definitely very interesting to hear the different debates and arguments, and I'm trying to put myself in more places where conversations about Latin um, Latin, indigenous conversations are happening. I like to just say all the terms usually. I'm like
Mhm.
Latinx, Hispanic, and indigenous, or do the slashes so I can just get everybody.
Right.
Okay. Um, and so yeah, and of course there are experiences that I'm receiving because of course nobody's a monolith, right? And so
Mhm.
just holding all of this as information and just being like, okay, okay, cool. And remembering like, this is not my culture. This is not my culture.
That part.
I got some ancestors um in some places, amen, that I don't really fully know about, but I still be, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna learn and I'm just gonna listen because I feel like that's the biggest part of being an ally is just shutting up and listening and recognizing that your voice is not more important than the people who are actually having the lived experience that
Look, child. Like, I'm just here. Do
I
you
mean,
need some water? Do you need like,
what you need. Yeah.
and I think that's the space that more people need to like sit in, honestly, and recognize I want to support them in this fight, but I need them to give me the tools or actually ask for it first. Like I'm all for advocacy, most definitely when it comes to trans issues, but if someone in the trans community, let me be more specific, Black trans community, are not saying, I need you to fight for me in this moment, I'm not going to know because to what this individual person or this group or even, my select friends, to them, I'm cool, I'm comfortable, I'm safe. I don't need that battle to be fought because you pick and choose your battles. And this is the battle that they said, I'm good on that. Cool. We can keep on going to the next one. But know whenever you need me to show up, I will be there.
Okay.
Like, and that's about it. Like, now I had to separate, the black trans folk from the white trans folk because they just be white.
You have to. You have to. Let's just be white.
It's just different experiences. The lived experience is not the same. Of course, just for political reasons and people be triggered, is not saying that your experience is less than any other person. It is just saying white. That's
No, I get it.
if you don't get it, I'm sorry. That's the best way I can explain it. The niggas understand. And this podcast is primarily for the niggas.
For the niggas. This is for the niggas. Strictly for the niggas. This is for the niggas.
From day one, it's been stated. But love all who listen, because we can all do better and we can all grow and we can all support each other in whatever battles that we need to support each other in.
I know that's
Babe.
yeah. When it comes to my allyship, I'm more like, if there are obvious things that are happening, like if somebody's getting misgendered in front of me, I'm gonna be like, you know, especially as a trans and non-binary person myself, like I experienced a lot of misgendering. But even my relationship to being misgendered has changed a lot. In my first year, the shit was hard as fuck, and I cried a lot because it was very fucking painful. But I'm on year 2 now, and it's way different. I have a lot of grace for people. Now, I'm going to say this as a comparison of my own self and not as this is how people should feel. No, this is my experience. As I have grown more compassionate and understanding towards people around me, I understand why people want to she, her me. I get it. Because as humans, we are really big on what we see. And it's kind of like seeing the color purple spelled in green marker. Immediately you want to say purple. You want to say green because that's what you see. But it's actually purple. And so like this like mind trick happens of like, oh, I don't know, but even though something or someone looks a certain way, or the packaging of the experience, it reminds you of something, it doesn't mean that that's actually what it is. People are who they tell you are, not what they look like, and so, but I get it. I get why the mind wants to go there. And so when people, it started with like the grocery store, when people are like she, herring me or calling me ma'am or whatever, I'm like, this is the grocery store. Like, I don't need you to fully see. I don't need you to see my soul, my spirit, my, like the reason I like reincarnate. I don't need you to see all that just because I just need my groceries. And you just, you know what I'm saying? So it started with things like detaching from those spaces. And then when people that I don't know are misgendering me, I think about, okay, how much do I want to be seen by this person? How much do I want them to know me? And so that's the space that I hold now of like, okay, I could correct them or I could just let that shit go, And I've determined that like the people that I want to be seen by are my community. They're the people who already see. They're the people who, it ain't no problem. As soon as they hear, oh, that's Manny, pronouns he, they, bet. It's sliding, into their vocabulary simply, easily, and it's beyond the vocabulary. They actually see me for real, and when we get close, they get to know more about what my gender journey has been like. And it also expands for them, which I never knew for years, but people would tell me like, folks I was engaging with last year a lot. And before I identified as trans, I was like identifying as non-binary for a while. And people I had like one-off exchanges with have been like, "You've taught me so much about gender." And I'm like, "Really?" Like, I don't remember that happening, but that's so cool. It's amazing how just like being around folks who are trans and non-binary, you just start to expand. And so, yeah, like when people are close to me, they get to know the genesis of my gender experience and like how it all happened and the way that I view my gender now and how it consistently evolves. And then they get to reflect on their own experiences as well with gender. And a lot of people that I like really connect with that really see me are on their own decolonization gender journey, where they may still end up being cisgender at the end of the day, which is totally fine. Like it's not, I'm not recruiting or like I'm trying to like make people be something they're not. It's more like I just want you to, I hope that when people talk to me and they hear me talk about gender, it's more like oh, let me ask myself some questions. Like how much of my gender is coming from colonialism and how much of it is actually coming from my own sovereignty and my own like intuition and my ancestors, my bloodline, my, relation to myself, right? Like, because a lot of this shit is man-made and not just man-made in general, but specifically from puritanical cisgender heterosexual white men, and it was just passed down. And so I just hope people start asking questions and being like, hold up, who said I got to wear this? Who said I got to talk like this? Who said I got, where's that voice coming from? Because it ain't my voice. In my own sovereignty, this is what I want to dress like. In my own sovereignty, this is how I view myself, And so I hope that more people start to tap into themselves and tap out from the rest of the world.
So if you are in your vehicle right now, or if you are listening to this on your bed and you just happen to be shouting, I got that word too, because it shook some tables on that one, because that was a whew. When you said walking in your sovereignty, oh my God. Come on. Hallelujah. Like I swear, like even in like we are completely off topic, but I'll bring us back around in a second. But like that's why I'm enjoying it being in what some people have described my soft boy era, because I've always enjoyed my feminine side, but I never got to embrace it as much. And now I'm just like, it is what it is. You're gonna see me in lace outfits. You're gonna see me in like probably something that's long and flowing, because I just want to wear something long and flowy. You may see me without a shirt on, you may see me with a shirt on, you may see me in things that you didn't even think I will even be comfortable wearing. It doesn't matter, because I'm wearing the things that make me feel good, make me feel sexy, and make me feel seen by myself and myself alone. Because at the end of the day, as long as I see the beauty, that's all that matters. Anybody else that adds on to it, anybody who shows their appreciation for it, I appreciate you for noticing the thing that I got to notice and see in myself. And I'm glad that I got to share that experience with you and leave it at that. And for those people who don't like it, who want to find something about it to be like, this is not how a man's supposed to be, and all these other things, again, the grass. I know we got the colonizers at 3 o'clock, but I got plenty of time before them. We can meet before them. Like, what you trying to do? The grass is free and the grass is ready. And look, even if you beat my ass, you're not going to beat my ass, because look, the spirit's going to be like, you may have won that one.
Come on.
You may have shaken the wig a little bit, but I'm still going to do what the fuck I'm going to do. Like, I need people to recognize when you try to break somebody's spirit and they don't see you and they see past you, that's the biggest hurt.
Come on.
Because what did you do?
The spirit. People be mad that we are anointed. They be so fucking mad that we still have spiritual gifts, that the spiritual world goes up for us, that we have our own ancestors, our own deities who, like, if you fuck with us, they coming for that ass. They don't play about us. They do not play about us. Like, and people be mad. And it's just like, okay, we have to stay mad, because like we're still gonna be dropping these bars, still gonna be out here saying the things that we're saying, doing the things that we're doing, and living, like oh my gosh, as you were saying, make me feel, my mind was like, make me feel mighty real. Like, I freaking love that song. Like, I'm just like, that is
Yes.
epitome of like joy, raw expression, just like being deeply in your you-ness. I just heard about Afropunk for the first time this year. I don't know what rock I've been hiding under, but it makes me think about Afropunk. And I'm just like, yo, like the way the outfits that I saw, like just Black people of all types of Black people just in this space. I mean, just loving on each other, just being themselves, and like people dress the fuck up, dress the fuck down, like just I mean, I saw the fairies come out. I saw the hippies, just everybody. Okay. And I'm like, this is what I've been needing to see. Like, I've been needing to see the Black witches who are like the foresters, or like they're also herbalists, or they know a lot about, they can, look at a tree and tell you what that tree is, or, you know what I mean? They like to, do all these different things. But yeah, so it was just really cool to see that experience. And it's just it reminds me of representation, of exposure, of just being able to be in the space, being able to see the things, hear the things, know the things, and be like, a bitch is home.
That part. Oh God. So let me go ahead and bring back my kink for the peoples out there who may have forgot. The kink that I enjoy the most and will continue to enjoy, and it really does fill my day, is expressing my happiness and joy in front of people who are going to get upset about it. Ugh.
Yes.
As the great and wonderful, beautiful Jill Scott said, hate on me, haters.
You can hate on me.
I'm going to do me, bitch.
Yes. Praise him. Praise her. Praise them. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Okay, so going back to the episode, we're not technically overtime, but this might get a little bit overtime, but it's okay. It's okay. There's news at the end of the episode. People going to be appreciative of it at the end of the day. So, it's all about sending news. So it's a little bit of a tough conversation with it as well. But first off, when do you feel it appropriate to send nudes, or when do you want to typically send nudes? And also, have you ever experienced body dysmorphia when it came to sending nudes?
Okay, so I've had an interesting relationship with the nudes, especially because my roots as a sex coach, that was one of the first titles that I dubbed myself with. I am trained, just to let people know. But yeah, so when I was like, y'all, I'm a sex coach, and now we're talking about sex, right? People would get in my DMs, and sometimes they still try to now, from under the guise of I need help. But they will be saying things like, oh, I think my dick is too big. Can you take a look at it? No, I cannot take a look at it, okay? Just
See a
saying,
doctor.
go see a doctor, damn it. And then, oh my gosh, there was this one experience where, I let the people know I'm all right with being flirted with. However, flirt with me on my other page. And so the person came over to the other DMs and were like, name, age, location, let me see your titties. I said, you know what? Just, the thing is, you probably could have seen some titties, but not like that. Definitely not like that.
It feels like enough people was like, how are you gonna be asking for my news and you don't even know my name? And it was just like, okay, bet. Let's process through this. What's your name? Now I know how old you are. Now give me the titties. Give me the titties. You know why I'm here. Like, what?
Oh god.
Wow.
And it's funny because like I had pictures of the titties at the time. They were on Instagram. If you just scroll back a couple of posts, you would have seen some titties. And you might have got some exclusive titty pictures had you not been weird in my DMs.
See, like, I know for me, whenever people ask me for, well, I used to send them, but now I'm just like, I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers. Like, I'm not sending any more news for y'all not to even meet up, not like stop communicating all these other shit. I don't got the time for that. Because the one rule that I have when it comes to other motherfuckers, especially these niggas on these apps, is I refuse to do the mental work to see why you behave the way that you're behaving because it's none of my business. And I clearly don't give a damn. So
Oh,
I don't put in that. I do not overexert that energy to try to figure that shit out. But now I'm at that point whenever anybody is like, oh, I want to see your news, you can look at the boudoir photos that I have because first and foremost, ain't nobody on this damn app got the news that's looking like these, okay? Because I like artistry of mine. Okay. I like presence. I like the fact that I know that these are going to be used in a museum someday because bitch, it is I. I look
oh,
good. I'm giving
hell
femininity. I'm giving masculinity. I'm giving bitch. I fucked myself when I got here. Okay. So
yes.
like, what do you think is going to happen? So these are the news that you have privy to. You can look at those. If you don't like it, then you don't want me because this is artiste over here. I don't. If you can't see the quality of me, you're not worth like. It's like with people with diamonds. To most motherfuckers, diamonds are just a rock. To anybody who sees other value in it, it's very priceless. So you need to
Absolutely.
know who you're fucking around with.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like my energy is like an ancient vase and it's got like all these beautiful carvings in it and stuff. Like, but if you don't know what it is, you might be looking at it and be like, what the fuck? And you might, dismiss it, throw it away because it's not really hitting for you. But
Mm.
somebody else might look at it and go, oh my gosh, the craftsmanship. Oh my gosh, the details right here. This is right here is so good. Like, and that's how I like for people to look at my body as well. Like,
Mm.
you know, the artistry, the
The
artistry.
artistry, like I've gone through my self-work to break down those um insecurities that other people placed on me. Like
Mhm.
I went from a stage of loving myself to hating myself because of those insecurities that were placed on me to finding myself and loving myself anew. And you think I'm going to make put myself in a lesser state because you're just horny? That you just want to see my body and you're not going to appreciate my body. Like the thing that is my biggest trigger as well as biggest annoyance is whenever somebody decides to sexualize my body without me even giving them the consent to do
Um,
that. Like I want somebody who appreciates what they're looking at before they want to sexualize it. I need you to have gratitude and be grateful for the things that you got to see that I offered you before you just like, how soon can I fuck you? Like, if you don't give me the energy that I'm looking for myself first, then where you go? Don't expect anything from me.
exactly, exactly. It's like very much like coming to a space and it's giving 5-star dining. It's giving, I'm giving you 5-course meal. You're like, oh yeah, but the dessert. No, bitch. No. Like if it feels like torture to sit through the 5-course meal that I've created, then you ain't supposed to be here. The
Mm,
people supposed to be here are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love the intentionality. I love the way you love yourself. I love the way you talk about yourself. I love the way you protect yourself. I love the way when I love the way you set boundaries. I love the way you speak clearly, like all of these things, like being able to appreciate, like we're talking about, appreciate all these things. And then when you do have sex, it's like it's like phenomenal because everything is being stacked on top of each other, all these intimacy, all these different forms of connection and relating to each other has been presented, and like you get to really show off your values during sex. Like if you're someone who's like a giver, you're very compassionate. Like you can show people how compassionate you are when you are in a love space with them, whether it's you know via making love, or if you're someone who, this is the other thing when it comes to sex, like I need people to see the variety. It's not just, oh, we're gonna do slow love making or we're gonna be very kinky. We can do all of it. We can mix the styles and go all over the fucking place because like we're more expansive than that. You know what I mean? Like, and that just makes it so much more special, such a treat. And like, I want people to recognize the beauty of the moment and just the power and the privilege of being in space with other humans, that they care about you enough. They see enough in you to be like, yeah, I'm going to share my body with you. Yeah, I'm going to share this space with you, this moment, this time with you. Like, appreciate that shit, because they ain't got to do a motherfucking thing. Okay? They ain't got to do a motherfucking thing. And also appreciate yourself. Okay? Because they also don't have the right to have immediate access. No one has the right to have immediate access to you if you don't give it to them. Like, you be the goddamn security guard of your heart, of your body, of your energy, of your spirit, and be like, where's your ticket? Where's your wristband? Oh, you ain't got it? Oh, okay. You can't get up in here. Like,
Not at all.
can't get up in here. So yes, the appreciation. And it just flows whenever the appreciation is there, especially because a lot of us have a good old praise kink. And so once you start doing, the nudes just flow. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a nude because it's Thursday and I just felt like it. And because you're always so sweet to me. And you just here's your nude. Congratulations. Here's your little video because I felt inspired. So here you go.
Exactly. Like this is a message to those out there who's ever been in a relationship with a fuck nigga and they keep going into that cycle. So first and foremost, what you need to actually start to do is find that appreciation for yourself. Like understand and acknowledge that sometimes just because it's a cute face is not for me. And I get the fun. Have the fun, obviously. If you just want to see a cute face and you want to experience the body of that cute face, do that and enjoy that shit. And I love that for you. But you also have to recognize the power that you have, the strength that you have, the love that you bring, like everything that's beautiful about you and powerful about you. Recognize it, have ownership of it, and just enjoy it. Like for myself, there's a reason why I'm not quick to get in a relationship because I want to be sure that the person who I'm engaging with, who I'm in a relationship with, actually enjoys me, who actually appreciates my body, who actually appreciate me. And I don't mind sharing those parts of myself with them. Because if you're just coming to me for the sex alone, I already know where I need to place you. You're not going to be somebody that I'm willing to give you all of my heart, all of my time, or anything like that, because I'm looking for a long term. Okay. I'm looking for someone that I know is going to appreciate me long term, even if we end up breaking up, even if we end up not being together forever. But I know the time that we shared together was meant something because you appreciated the value and the time that I brought within this relationship or this dynamic. And if that's not the energy that you're bringing, I'm not giving myself to you because you don't deserve it. If I want you for the sexual satisfaction or just to know I had that body, cool. Just know that's going to be the conversation we're having. And that's if you encountered the fuck nigga, take that energy, take that message, and heal. Because once you start approaching motherfuckers like that, and you're acknowledging who's appreciating me and who's just trying to catch a body, oh, you move a lot differently every single time. Whew. Okay. So, with that note, I think it is time to transition into a little never have I ever. I said we're going to do some would you rathers. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, let's see. Would you rather only be able to kiss one person for the rest of your life or kiss as many people as you want, but only once?
Oh, damn. That's so hard. Okay. I'm gonna have to go with kiss as many people as I want, but only once.
That's fair. I think, oh, that is tough. I'm not, it is weird because I'm not that big of a kisser, but there's sometimes I see somebody and I'm just like, the lips.
Come on.
Them lips. I just want to like, and it's like if I have a long-term partner, I would rather just, kiss them only once, but I'm also a poly person. So it's like, ugh,
Yes. Yeah.
I will have to say, I will rather I will kiss multiple people. I will kiss multiple people and be sure that the one time I get to kiss my partner will be the longest and strongest kiss that I provide to any other person because I know that's going to be the last and only time.
That's so grim, even. Like, oh,
That's all.
I feel so sad now. Like,
Like why?
yeah. Oh, there's something I wanted to add from our earlier discussion.
Mhm.
So around like sexualizing people's body without permission, there are ways to compliment folks without sexualizing them. Like, I received a picture before I had opened my DMs and I was like letting my people know, I was like, okay, y'all can send me stuff if you want to this week. And by the middle of the week, I was like, y'all, let's just do it all the time because this was really fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, one of the pictures I had gotten, I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful picture. I love the lighting. I talk about everything except their body because I was like, I have not been given permission to do that. And so I was just very clear on that. But I also said like your energy is very beautiful. And then I asked later on, I was like, did you want body compliments? Because I didn't want to just start giving those without asking. And they were like, yeah, that's totally fine. Like I'm totally always, open to that. And so in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, that ass is iconic. Like it's so beautiful. Like, and even then I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this to you and I'm gonna do like it's never
Mhm.
that for me. But yes, I would say things like that ass is iconic, or your titties look so pretty in this particular bra, or that color looks so good on your skin tone. Like I'll say stuff like that. Um, or I'll even say something like, um, if it's like a body worship thing, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like your legs are so beautiful and strong. And I feel like almost this ancestral connection to these very beautiful curves that I'm seeing right now, like the witnessing of it all and just being like, whoa, like it's kind of like when little kids look up at the clouds, they're like, it's a
Mhm.
dinosaur, it's a, you know what I mean? Like doing something like that with people's like stretch marks or moles and stuff and just being like, whoa, like this like cluster of like stretch marks kind of looks like a dolphin or, whatever the fuck. Um,
Mhm.
different things like that. There's so many ways and you could channel if channeling is your thing. Like, when you look at they're looking into their eyes, like maybe you do feel like I remember I was looking into someone's eyes. I was like, I feel like your entire lineage is staring back at me. And
Mm.
I really felt that in my spirit. Um, and so, yeah, there are millions of ways to compliment people without sexualizing them and telling them what you want to do to them because they might not even like that kind of stuff that you're up here talking about.
That
Or
part.
like it. It's just that they didn't invite you into that conversation yet.
That part. Oh, another word, another word. And I felt it because I know I've had my moments when I'm just like, I'm not even in the mood. Like, why are you here? And it could be somebody that I would have possibly had sex with, and it's just this is the approach that you took, and it was a huge turnoff. Sucks for them.
That's for them.
Um, so the other would you rather? Would you rather be the plus one in a couple's threesome or have a threesome with your significant other and bring in a third?
Okay, so I've done the first before. It really sucked. We tried to be a throuple, so never again.
Mm,
Um, and I think me and my partner would do it better. I just do because I've been on the other. I know what it feels like to be the unicorn, and so yeah, I just know that it's hard being the unicorn and the couple privilege and all that other shit. So I'd be able to cut through a lot of that shit because I've been on the other side. So definitely would be interested in having a threesome with my partner. I think it would be really fun, especially because we're also both emotionally mature, very conscious. We've had these conversations about play parties and stuff. And so I think we'd be really good at making them feel comfortable and not coming at them as a couple per se, or like as a unit, but as individuals, because we are individuals before we're coupled up. You know what I mean? Like that's my boo, that's my person, that's my babe, love her down. And also we're individuals. And so we're not like coming at you as a unit and like this very, because it can feel so very two against one type energy, and not in a fun way.
Mm.
In a very like, ooh, it's hard for me to speak up for myself because, you know, it's if y'all are in agreement and it's against what I'm saying, then that could cut me out. So there's a whole lot of fear in that area, or just like it's super easy to people please when you're dating a couple instead of holy shit, hold on. Let me find my footing. At least that's how I experienced it. But yeah, that's what I would do.
So I'm with you. I would rather bring a third into my couple, my situation with my partner, because I've had that third wheel feeling as well, and I've also had some positive experiences too. But for me, after the negative experience, that's when I decided, let me make sure I have a requirement for these people, because I'm not going to insert myself into any couples dynamic if I'm not going to be pleased, if I'm not going to be the focal point of y'all's attention, because y'all see each other every single day, y'all see each other regularly. I'm an addition to this little thing, I'm the add-on. And if I'm going to be a satisfied add-on, I want to be sure that I'm going to be participating with all parties, as well as when we are engaging with each other, that I'm getting pleased. Like I don't have to be the first person to initiate or have anything initiated upon me, but I do know that with within this experience, one, I'm definitely gonna have to get my nut, because if I don't, we have a problem.
Okay.
Two, that everybody is feeling satisfied and enjoying this experience. And again, I'm getting my nut. Because if
Period.
I'm not, like, it's very important to me, because that's the only reason I'm here within this engagement. If it's going to be some kind of emotional satisfaction that's coupled in this, that's fine, that's great. If I'm in addition to the relationship as a and it's now a throuple, I'm still going to expect that if it's going to be me and the other person, or me and you, we're going to make sure that we're all enjoying this, and it's not going to just be, oh, you're just here in case we want to play with you, because
Come on
I'm
now.
not your toy.
Okay. That you can just pull off whenever you get ready to play. I'm not your guidance counselor. I'm not your couples counselor. None of that shit. Okay.
All
None of
right.
that.
None. Whew. All right. So, Manny, do you have any last words that you would like to share with the audience before we leave?
Mm, it's kind of a throwback to some college advice, but if you are in college or just in life, this is advice I got from an elder a while back, and she said that if you are in your 20s and you already know um, who you are, what you want to be, congratulations. Please keep walking in that direction. If your family or whomever is pressuring you to be a doctor and you know you're actually an artist, please just go be an artist. Do not try to make these people happy, because no, you have to live your life. And so that's something that um I would like for everybody to just be in the remembrance of, like, this is your life. It doesn't matter if your parents want you to do something else. Like, no. So I mention that because parental validation is so very addictive. And I encourage you to work your way through it, through some therapy if you can. But yes, the other thing she said was that you're never going to be enough for your parents, and you're never going to be enough for your kids. So be enough for yourself.
That's amen. Amen.
Okay.
The whistle that was just dropped there. Oh my God. Whew. Okay. Just to let y'all know I'm fanning myself because I wasn't ready for that. Ooh, that felt
Okay.
like a personal attack. I don't have any kids, but that still was a read. And even because I've had that time in my life where I was definitely trying to validate my parents, and I was just it's a little bit different now. It's not this is not the space for that conversation, Bernie. But yeah, like I just make sure I focus on my happiness, and it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, like that was a word. That
Okay.
was definitely a word.
Use work for parental validation. And so
Look,
that's why I gave myself degree number 3 and as a second bachelor's. But really it's the first because it's the first one I actually wanted.
amen. Amen. Whew. Okay, so Manny, thank you. Thank you for all the wisdom and words that you dropped because you definitely took us to church today. And it's a
Yay.
Saturday, Lord. Oh my, it's somebody's church day, so that's all that matters. Listening audience, I have some great news for you all. This depends on how you take it. I'm taking it as good news. Um, so this is the last episode of the season. Whatever month this is airing in, we're recording it in October, right before Halloween. And I don't have a costume, but I do have an outfit on its way, and it's going to be thotty. I may be wearing it for this Hovember live that I'm doing, and I may put it in the grill to match it. So, because I might as well show out. So yeah, if you didn't make it to the Hovember live, sorry for you. Because obviously this is airing after that. It's not my fault. It'll be on YouTube for those who really wants to go back and watch it. But so this is the last episode of season 3, but it's not the last episode of the Holistically podcast. For those who would like to know why, I'm in the stages of doing my internship. I'm working pretty much 12-hour days, Monday through Fridays, and a little bit of time on Saturdays, just so that I can reach my goal. And I refuse to stress myself out before I even get there. So I don't the podcast brings me joy, it brings me happiness, and I don't want to leave you all behind. And I will be returning for season 4. November of 2024 is still up in the air, and this is also, well, it will also be an election year. So if I do a live, make sure you show up for that one because you know I'm going to be petty, you know I'm going to be ratchet, and whatever the fucking results are, I might be angry. So if you I know y'all motherfuckers like it when I'm mad, so show up for that. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some self-care during this year, making sure I focus on my goals, make sure that I have this second master's in light Manny. This is the one that truly matters. This is the one that's aligning with my passions, aligning with what I want for myself. And for those who know this already, I am an intern in a therapy practice. I'm focusing on sex therapy. If you are in the state of Georgia and you're looking for a therapist and you just like the podcast already because you know who I am, look in the show notes if you want to book a session. So I'm growing, I'm excelling, I'm finding my peace once more, and I'm just pursuing my goals. Know that I'm not gone, I'm not leaving you all, I'm just taking a break so I can return in a stronger way. So thank you all so much for listening to the Holistically podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. And just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, I truly love you all, and I will definitely see you next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.holiloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.